Pod Chef. Pod Chef. Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They got 19 seasons, that's a lot, kid, but you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show, not the food though, but the other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the only official podcast about the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Jamal, Brian, and Reeves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I'm your host, Jamal, no last name, and let's get into it right now. I had to fire the host from last week.
Our turnover rate is
third
through the
mic.
roof.
That's third mic. Brian talking. Brian's here.
Through the roof. Thank you for introing me this week.
Yeah.
Quick note. Which guest told us to play the whole theme, or was it you?
Might have been me.
Because it was such a good idea.
I enjoy it.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's so good.
Why weren't we doing this from the minute we got the theme, right?
It felt long, I think, to me, but now it's not,
actually,
and I think it's good.
It's the perfect length, and the person who did the theme will be on the show in a couple episodes.
So you fired my buddy Barrett.
Fired your buddy Barrett, and here's why. I called him to talk to him about hosting this week, and
like we do, we have our talks.
Yeah, I called him, and someone answered the phone. I thought it was Barrett. It was not. I could not tell. Well, when I talked to him, he was talking like this. He was like, "Who is this?" And I was like, "This is Jamal, host of the official Top Chef podcast. I'm calling for Barrett." And he was like, "Barrett's not here." And I was like, "Barrett, are you doing one of your voices?"
He's a paid working voice actor.
Working voice actor. And
legit voice actor.
I thought he was doing a voice.
I would think so too.
Yeah. And he was like, "Barrett's not here. Barrett 50 caliber is here." And I was like, "Very funny, Barrett. Your name's kind of like a play on a weapon, a gun. But can I actually talk to you about hosting?" He was like, "Hold on. My cousin wants to speak to you." And then like someone else came on the phone and was like, "My name's Chappie. Who's this?" And I was
They're all British.
They're all British. Like the first two are British.
Uh-huh. Oh, there were more than two.
Yeah. Oh, there's like four people, and I don't want to go through all the people, but
real quick. I mean, just give me how about let's do each character ordering a Starbucks.
Yeah. So the first guy was like, "I'll have a cinnamon dolce latte."
Okay, they all get the same thing.
Yeah. The next guy was like, "I'll have a cinnamon dolce latte too."
Okay, that's two of them.
And then the third person was like, "Oh, top of the morning to you."
Okay, so you said that the first two were British, but that one sounded British too.
Well, it's actually Irish if you let it breathe.
Oh no, I jumped all over it.
Yeah, if you gotta let it breathe, because that person on the phone was like, "Oh, top of the morning to you. I'll have a cinnamon dolce latte."
Now I hear it. Yeah, I hear it now.
And then the last person was just sort of like I want to say it was British, but it was like a lower class of Britain. It was like, "Oi, I'll try to get a cinnamon dolce latte, won't I?"
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And
okay.
So, yeah, that's the four people I talked to, and then I hung up, called back, and it was Barrett. And he was like, "Hey, I was just trying out some new voices." And I said, "Barrett, I can't do this. I don't know who I'm talking to when I'm talking to you."
What if those were the four people that you met in heaven? I know it's five, but the fifth one can be someone else. Maybe the fifth one's Barrett, but the first four are those four blokes.
Well, I feel like you're getting all of the phases of England.
Wait, so now you said that at least four of them were for sure British.
Well,
one was Irish.
Isn't Scottish Irish? Isn't that technically part of the same island?
I don't think they like that.
I don't care what they like. I'm black. There's a lot of stuff I don't like that I have to deal with. Fucking whiners.
All that to say, we don't. We're on
Yeah.
the search continues.
Search
for a second
continues.
chair.
So today, I think this. I mean, if Reeves was not on his walkabout, he would love to be here today because I actually hired a temp agency to find me a host that I think speaks to you and Reeves.
I love a temp agency.
Okay, so people are listening are going to know this person because they're up on times. But today, I've scored a guest. He's a journalist, author, producer, podcaster, and visionary. He's the creator and host of Inside the Promo, true crime wrestling podcast, as well as the managing editor of wrestling news site the Inside the Promo Insider, TITPPI, Tit Pie for short.
No, whoa, whoa,
Um,
whoa, 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 whoa.
huh?
Who told you it was tit pie? Where did you get that?
It just is. I was just.
You were abbreviating yourself.
I was abbreviating myself just based on the lettering here.
Okay, no. So the show it's actually you have to say the whole thing. It's
Okay.
the Inside the Promo Insider. Some people like to shorten things, and it's just
Mhm.
not. It's not really an abbreviation that goes with my brand.
Okay, I'm very sorry for that. I thought it was called Tit Pie. I thought that was the abbreviation.
Let's just not even say tit pie today.
Okay, I won't. I don't want to say it anymore.
I'm gonna have a hard time not saying it.
It is kind of food related when you think about
And
it.
this is a food podcast.
The official Top Chef podcast.
It sounds delicious, but it's just not me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Vic Valderrama. He's on the show. Welcome. Thank you, Vic, for coming on. I have so many questions. So little time, but so many questions.
Thank you. That's my
tell
problem.
It's a good problem to have. The Inside the Promo Insider. Unpack that for us.
Yes, well, I've spent most of my adult life and adult child life as well as a wrestling reporter, as a broadcast journalist, as a print journalist. And recently, there were some incidents in my life that made me ask some questions. What do I really want to do? And I decided to hunt down the gobbledygooker. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it, but a man named Guillermo Garcia Gomez. He was a
Triple G.
wrestler. Triple G, yes. GG.
Well, to shorten everything.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
It's easier for me to learn wrestler terms if I turn into like acronyms.
Yeah, acronyms can be fun sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But GG, he was
Triple G.
Triple G, if that helps to remember. He was a journeyman. He was a hero in Tijuana and San Diego, and he disappeared. And he's most famous for playing a character called the Gobbledygooker for the WWF in 1990, where he cracked himself out of an egg and did a dance routine, and it was pretty much the end of his career.
Wow.
And this is wrestling.
This was a part of the wrestling show, yes.
As someone who watches wrestling now, as an adult, this is wrestling. And everyone who is like, I don't want to watch people beat people up. It's fake. That's not what it is.
Not anymore.
It's this turkey man come to have an egg and doing a dance.
Gobbledygook.
That's wrestling. So you're looking for this person. So you admit that it's a character. You know that the gobbledygook is not a real thing.
Well, there was a point in my life where I did think he was my father.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was something I had to work through in my adulthood, finding out that not only was the gobbledygooker as a turkey you called it? Yes, it was a turkey.
Yes.
The turkey was not my father, but also the human underneath the turkey was not my
your
father. Yes, so that's
Wow.
all that's in my all that is going to be in my book, Vague Facsimiles.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that you are currently writing your memoir, Vague Facsimile, and it's about your life as a wrestling journalist.
That's right.
So I'm sure listeners can go get that memoir when it's out. Is that going to be done this year, or are you pushing that back a year?
We don't have a date yet. Working with the publishers can be challenging. You ever heard the term those who do and those who can't teach? Go ahead and put publish in there instead of teach.
Those who do, and those who can't publish.
Those who can,
Those who can do,
and those who don't
Publish.
publish. Correct.
self-publish.
Yeah, have you tried self-publish? Have you thought
You
about
know,
that?
I'm not really trying to be broke
Oh,
because
okay.
I'm really spending up all this advance money. See, let me explain something. When you write a book,
Did you get an advance? Wow.
the public, that's right, they give you an advance
Okay.
to secure your services, and
Mm-hmm.
that money is real nice. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell you what, it's like when you get money, so much money in advance, is like you can spend it in bigger chunks
Yeah.
than if you were making it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's a sucker's game.
Yeah.
Can I ask why you thought the gobbledygooker was your dad?
Well, my mother kind of planted that seed when I was very young.
Maybe she laid that egg.
Yeah.
She laid that egg in my brain, in my young brain, and it really just
Metaphorical
turned.
egg.
It turned out just to be a joke, really. But I took it very seriously. I was very serious as a child.
What was your mom's name?
Vivian.
Vivian. And I'm assuming Gobbledygook is a last name.
I had never really made it that far because gobbledygook is one whole name. It could be first, it could be last. It's really just a gobbledygook is really just a made up word that Dusty Rhodes threw out. It was a made up Dusty word.
Oh, Dusty Rhodes. Is that about your favorite wrestling venue?
Dusty Rhodes. That's what you take to the best.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a wrestler. Oh, I'm
No,
so embarrassed.
It's how you get there.
Okay, I'm so embarrassed.
No.
I thought you were talking about terrain for a second.
I'm on the gobbledygooker's Wikipedia page, and he has one. Look it up, folks.
Okay.
And first things first. Very surprised it's not racist. I'm having a hard time. I still think it might be, but the Wikipedia would tell me. It would say this is bad, so it went away. It says that the gobbledygooker has been portrayed by, and if you're here for the first time, this is the Pod Chef podcast. We're going to talk about Top Chef in a little bit. Portrayed by Hector Guerrero, and then in 2008, portrayed by the Boogeyman. How does that work?
Which the Boogeyman was double booked.
He's already the Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Who's playing the Boogeyman?
Yeah, if the Boogeyman, it's just like a Kane situation.
That's a hat on a hat.
Yeah, this is like, well, if the Undertaker's brother is gone, who's in the Kane suit, right?
Right.
Who's
Kane.
wearing the...
But if Kane is now a conservative Trumpian Twitter guy running for office,
Yeah.
then who's in the Kane suit?
Who's in the Kane suit in the show?
And again, this is Pod Chef.
This is Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. Thank you for listening. And if Kane is kind of, I don't want to say this, but able to kind of do both, shouldn't he pick one? Should, and I guess this is the question, should Kane kill Abel?
Well, really, he killed Abel, and then he became the mayor of Knoxville County, Tennessee.
Is he the mayor? You would know this. You're the
journalist.
That's right. He has been the mayor. He's never been shy about expressing his libertarian views.
Okay.
It's a lot of
interesting for a guy who hides behind a mask.
Yeah, well, he doesn't wear a mask. He advocates for bombing Ukraine, that kind of thing.
Well, he's got a fucked up childhood. I mean, his brother burnt down the house and killed his parents and almost killed him, hideously burned him. He got a fucked up childhood.
Yes. Disfigured him in a house fire.
Yeah, that was
their upbringing was much like the Mountain and the dog and the Hound in Game of Thrones. And this is Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast.
Well, without question, those type of views come from a lifetime of brain injuries and third-degree burns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like, okay, I've got some more gobbledygooker questions, of course, in my back pocket, but I feel like I'd be a fool. The late breaking news today is that Vince McMahon has stepped down as CEO of WWE because of a a
Hush
scandal
money.
involving hush money.
Shh, hush money.
In that he had a consensual relationship that he claims, with a some kind
She's a
of lawyer thing,
paralegal.
yes. And then he gave her to his buddy John Laurinaitis, and then he gave her a bunch of money, and now they don't know what to do. And Stephanie McMahon is the CEO, and he stepped down as CEO, but he's still doing the creative stuff. And I read that he's going to be on SmackDown tonight.
Yeah.
Doing a character in the Vince McMahon "you're fired" character to write himself off the show.
Maybe he's gonna fire himself.
Do you have any inside information on this?
Well, my sources have told me that he's torn up the script for this weekend show. Now, wrestling is real, but the WWE is at times scripted, and
Yes.
and he's torn up the script for tonight's show, and I hope there's a very long kiss my ass speech because he's old, and that would just be great.
And what if Stone Cold came back tonight and then gave him a
God.
stunner so hard that he got left the show?
One word: ratings.
Yeah, that's through the roof.
And
When the rattlesnake's on TV.
Yeah.
What?
He's always got one in the chamber for Vince.
Yeah.
One stunner in the chamber.
Well, I can't speak for Vince, but I know that all my consensual relationships ended in a non-disclosure and hush money. So let's move on to the next segment we got here on the official Top Chef podcast called Chefs I Prepared for You. And you're gonna take part in this, Vic. This is a segment we do every week where we talk about what we had for dinner last night and only last night. And we present it as if we're presenting it to the judges on Top Chef. I will go first. Chefs I prepared for you. And Brian, you're looking at this picture. I know you're hungry. Steak and eggs over a beef pan sauce and sauteed spinach.
It looks pretty good.
It was delectable.
I have one thing that I would do differently.
What? What's up?
I'd have fried that egg, man. Steak and eggs, I want a fried egg.
Okay. I might try that next time. That's not a bad... Here, you know why I didn't fry this egg? So I have an egg-sized fryer, like a frying pan that's just for an egg, and my induction oven won't register it because it's not made of real metal.
I'm sorry, did you not cook the egg in the steak sauce in the same pan?
No.
Okay, well
here's why.
I'm no chef.
Yeah, but I knew I was combining them on the plate, and there's going to be plenty of space for the sauce to get on the eggs, and so I said no need to mix these two couples up here. Let's have separate proms and meet at the Walmart later like they do in the South.
Meet at the Walmart later. It looks good. The steak looks good.
Mm-hmm.
It looks a little, probably like medium well.
Yeah, I did overcook it a little bit. It wasn't as pink as I wanted.
That's okay.
But it was still juicy, especially with that sauce.
That spinach looks good. I would have fried that egg. I'd have done 2 fried eggs, and I'd have put them on the steak, and I would have busted them yolks and got the juice the yolk all over the steak.
Okay.
And then I would have gone to bed.
Making me look bad. All right.
Point of clarification. Do you, speaking of busting those yolks, I grew up in a household where you cooked the shit out of that yolk. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I got older that I found the joy in having that liquid yolk.
Yolk bus.
That yolk bus. That's right.
I can say that I grew up in the same kind of household. There's something about black moms are scared of raw meats, raw yolks. My mom likes a well done steak. My mom will only hard boil her eggs. She wants that yolk almost gray.
Mm-hmm.
Like she doesn't almost like if it's even a soft scramble, she's like, nah, throw it back on the pan. She doesn't want any kind of runny liquid from the egg. She wants it a full solid thing. So I grew up in a house like that. But now I had toast during the pandemic, and I had a egg yolk break over the buttered toast.
It was like a 2.5 year period, and your story is I had toast during the pandemic. Just one time.
I had it a couple times, but I don't really like bread that much. So I had toast during the pandemic, and I had an egg yolk breakage on top. And I'll tell you right now, I thought buttered toast was good. You put buttered toast and you break that egg on top. Next level, man.
Beautiful
fucking
mistake.
next level.
Yeah.
And I have like big salt flakes you put on there too, and pepper. Oh,
Hot sauce on there, an egg.
I haven't put hot sauce on yet. I should try that.
We did well done steaks, like minute steaks is what all I had growing up. I never had an actual steak. It was always like those like flattened minute steaks, always well done. So you had to have ketchup on it. But we was busting eggs from the start. Like I've known about busting eggs since I was little. And
You've always been busting it.
Yeah, my mom was busting eggs. She taught me how to bust eggs. I prefer my eggs bust.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll fuck up and I'll make, and like when I'm making shakshuka, which I'll do.
Yeah.
I'll cook the eggs too much because I don't like the like white part to have that like clear runniness that I don't like. But
you got to cook that through.
But then you cook that through, but you end up making the eggs, you can't bust it anymore. So
well, you can do was it over easy or whatever? You turn it over real quick, give it a quick second, and then
I do like an over easy egg too.
Just to seal it a little bit, and then you open it up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was my meal, Brian.
Chefs, last night I procured for you Thai food, and that's fine. My wife and I got drunken noodles from the place, and it's always so good. And that's okay because tomorrow we're having a big cookout, and I'm going to be invited. You want to come up?
I wasn't invited.
It's a 5-hour drive.
Well, now that you put it that way, no.
We're going to do veggie burgers. I'm going to make some speaking of eggs, deviled eggs, which is not bust. Those are totally done through. You can't be busting deviled eggs.
Can't be busting. Can't leave those sitting out busting.
No, right? Yeah. So I'm doing a bunch of cooking tomorrow, so I was okay with getting some Thai food last night. It's always good. It's perfect. It's so good.
Were you guys drunk?
We were not.
Have you guys ever thought about, you know what? Let's get drunk in noodles and then hammer beers before the noodles get here, so that when the noodles get here, we're fucking trashed.
I don't really like to drink that much anymore.
Okay.
I don't like to consume poison anymore.
Okay.
I just burn leaves that God made that are healthy. That's healthy.
Yeah, that's healthy. Your lungs are meant to take in kind of like weed smoke and like anything that's not air, kind of. So that's good. I'm glad you're doing that now. Vic, what'd you have for dinner last night?
Well, chefs, I prepared for you this afternoon on my lunch break. American Kobe beef meatballs, a day from spoilage, and a homemade dumpling soup with the dumplings not cooked through, particularly doughy, and reeking of flour left over from pandemic panic shopping from 2020, and a little too much baking powder. I hope that it burns your tongue.
All right. I didn't know if that was it or not. If you had more, do you have anything to drink?
That's what I had for lunch.
What did you have to drink? This sounds kind of dry. You made
dumplings for lunch?
I was feeling particularly ambitious today. I took a break from writing, and I just made I just threw a little flour and a little milk, and again a little too much baking powder, and old flour, and just threw it in some chicken stock.
What was in the dumplings?
Nothing, just flour and milk.
That's how you make dumplings. That's like Southern dumplings.
No, I didn't know if they were stuffed or not.
Stuffed?
No, I did consider doing that, but that felt like too much work.
Brian, what are you talking about? You know what a stuffed dumpling is?
No, I don't.
You ordered Thai food. They have it on the menu.
Those are different kinds of dumplings. These are like just flour dumplings that are like little shapeless globs of flour and stuff, right?
You just
boiled biscuits, correct?
Yeah, little boiled biscuits that you slop around. Usually only on Thanksgiving. So the only time I've ever had them. Maybe a Sunday dinner you do chicken and dumplings. It's a lot of work.
I thought you put the chicken in the dumplings and then you steam them and cook them together.
That's like an Asian dumpling.
That's the only dumplings I know about.
That's a type of patience that only comes from the Far East.
Yeah.
All right.
You've never just had the like shapeless little like boiled like biscuit, just like dough that turns into a little like chewy It almost turns into like drunken noodle type noodles. It's like that kind of consistency.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, this is news to me. I'm learning today. I thought dumplings always had something inside them.
Go to Cracker Barrel
and order the dumplings.
Okay,
well, first I got to get in.
See if they'll let you in.
Yeah,
maybe
see if I can get in.
Maybe wear a disguise.
If I can get a table, I'll wear my Mitt Romney outfit.
Yes.
And see if they'll let me in.
Yeah.
And I'll get a table and say, dumplings, please. And they'll say, oh, Mitt.
When I'm on the road and I'm doing a story, when I have to go to Cracker Barrel, I just go in, keep my eyes down, and play that little game with the pins in it, and I don't make any eye contact.
And then someone walks over and says, have you been helped yet? And you're like, no. You're like, oh, well, let's get you seated. Let's get you some grub.
And then they walk you out of there.
Yeah. They walk you across the street to KFC.
They go, bye-bye now.
Don't come back now. And that's, kind of, Cracker Barrel kind of showing you their craft. And we'll be right back after this.
Pod Chef.
And we're back. This is Pod Chef episode 900. This is Top Chef season 5, episode 2, Show Your Craft. We're here with special guest Vic Valderrama, wrestling journalist here on the official Top Chef podcast.
How close have you gotten to catching the gobbledygooker? Have you ever seen him in person?
I haven't. I've not seen him in person, but I had the honor to finally speak with him on the last episode of my podcast. Spoilers. I mean, if you haven't seen it already, it's like if you haven't seen the last episode of MASH, they all go home. So, but
all of them do. Okay. And here's my issue with the MASH finale.
Okay, and now he's going to get in his bag.
Sorry. Numbers. The likelihood that everyone from that infantry came home from Vietnam is very unlikely.
Well, hold on.
None of them died?
Hold on a second. Not a lot of people died in Vietnam. A lot of people were maimed in Vietnam.
Lots of people died in Vietnam.
By the numbers, though, as a war, more people were maimed than actually killed in Vietnam.
But still, a lot of people died.
Yeah, a lot of Vietnamese people died in Vietnam.
Americans too, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, but not as much as you're thinking. Most people came back and they were missing a limb.
What's a low number to you?
Yeah, what number was he thinking?
Yeah, what number were you thinking? Because I'm thinking it's around, is it a couple 100,000 people died?
Only 58,000 people, U.S. soldiers died.
See, told you. Wow. I told you. I know about the Vietnam War. My dad was in Vietnam.
As many as 2 million civilians on both sides died.
Yeah.
2 million civilians died.
Like I said, a lot of Vietnamese died.
Holy shit.
And this is Pod Chef, the official.
This is Pod Chef, and this is the part where we talk about Top Chef.
Yeah. So
why are we talking about that?
So let's talk about we were talking about that because it reminded us about having a hot dog party. You can't have a hot dog party if you don't win a war. So
you had the gobbledygooker on your podcast.
I did. I had Gigi Gomez on my podcast, and it revitalized his career. Being on my show. He has a podcast now with Conrad Thompson, which is where he talks about his life, and really, he hasn't invited me on or anything like that.
Okay.
But they didn't return the favor. That's mean.
Yeah, he's doing well, and it's because I'm a heat magnet, and I would expect the same results for your show.
Look, brother, we need the heat.
Yeah, we need the heat.
And someone needs to tell the gobbledygooker that the only reason you have someone on your podcast is to get a favor in return down the line. That's it.
The only reason, or unless you're hunting them down since your childhood.
Right, but now he owes you a favor in some form. He should return the favor.
He's going to have to return the favor.
I don't do it for the favors. I do it for the money and the acclaim.
Okay.
Well,
so they're doing hot dogs.
They're doing hot dogs in the Quick Fire Challenge.
They're in New York. The lady brings out the Sparrow hot dog cart.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Well, it wasn't Sbarro. The chefs were asked to create their version of a classic, well-loved New York dish, the hot dog. They competed against Angelina D'Angelo of Dominic's Hot Dog Truck in Queens. What up, Queens? Queensbridge. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. The contestants each had 45 minutes and access to the Top Chef pantry to prepare and present their dish to host Padma Lakshmi and guest judge Donatella Arpaia.
Who is
It's-
she? What was her thing?
She's a successful restaurateur and food expert. Duh.
Restaurateur.
The winner received coveted immunity from elimination in the next challenge. I gotta say, I gotta stop watching replays of this before we record without eating first, because all this one made me want to do is go walk to the store, get hot dogs, and make hot dogs and eat hot dogs.
I'm doing hot dogs tomorrow at the cookout, and I was like, oh, I want to go just eat them bad. But you ever eat hot dogs raw when you're
Yeah, I'm not doing that again.
or just pop them in the microwave for a bit and eat them?
You know how my mom used to cook hot dogs? Just throw them in the boiler.
Yeah,
boil them.
my mom used to boil them too.
I might do that. I might go back to that and see what that's like again.
No, they're better. You gotta have that. Like you gotta have that you gotta cook them till they crisp.
Here's what you do. Ready? You boil them, right? And when they're ready from the boiler, you throw them on the pan. Get that nice chard on them.
Too much work.
Best.
I gotta say, when they say that you're gonna recreate a famous New York dish, Jill, who famously goes on this episode, says that she thinks it's gonna be cheesecake. The answer's pizza.
Yeah, the answer was pizza.
If you're gonna make a guess, the answer's pizza. Now, I lived in New York, in Brooklyn,
And you weren't thinking hot dog.
for 4 years. Wasn't thinking hot dog. I was thinking pizza. But in reality, the food that I most think about when I think about New York now
Kebab.
is the egg and cheese.
Oh,
The
chopped
egg
cheese.
and cheese. No.
Oh.
Egg and cheese breakfast sandwich. You do bacon, egg, and
Oh.
cheese, or egg and cheese on a roll, salt, pepper, ketchup. That's the sandwich. Every bodega,
Yeah, has
like
that.
that's how you know if they're legit, if they can turn out a good egg and cheese.
That's like a when you order it, it's like either 1 through 5. They never put it at the end of the order list. It's always up there. It's like you walk in and say, "Give me a number 3, double the egg.
Well, you wouldn't say a number in a bodega.
Give me a number 4, double the egg,
No,
hold the
you don't
cheese."
say numbers. You say, hey, I'm gonna get egg and cheese.
You never walk in and say, "Give me another 14." Oh. You do that in LA. You walk into a place, it's got all these numbers, and you're like, "Give me a number 14, I guess."
Numbers
Why'd you
are a
put
West Coast thing.
Yeah, it's a West Coast thing, I think.
Yeah, the numbers top out at 5 in New York City. They don't have the time.
No one has the time. Look,
6?
Padma
No.
definitely doesn't have the time because she had a bone to pick trying to eat one of the hot dogs they made.
She
'Cause
ate a bone.
literally a bone was in the hot dog.
Padma had a rough go this episode. She ate a bone. She spit out dessert because it was too sweet. First of all, too sweet, spit it out. Shut the fuck up. It's a dessert. It's a dessert.
Oh, Padma, I can't believe you said that to you. I'm
This
so
dessert
sorry.
is too sweet.
Padma, I know you're
Get the fuck
listening.
out of here.
I'm so sorry. He's gone off the handle this episode. I'm so
Padma,
sorry.
wait, Padma's listening to this?
Yeah, Padma and Tom Click, you'll listen to this podcast.
They listen to
right
it because they critique us and they give us notes and feedback.
Yeah. So Padma, I'm so sorry that he said that. He did not mean that. Let's just move on. Stefan's global hot dog was terrible looking. I don't know what he was thinking with that.
Jill just used store hot dogs. I got a question.
Yeah.
If they didn't want them to use already made hot dogs, why are they in there?
Yeah. If you say use the pantry and you've got pre-made hot dogs in the pantry, what am I supposed to walk past them? Those are the hot dogs I grew up eating.
Yeah.
Those are the hot dogs I know. I'm supposed to make friends with new hot dogs? Let me tell you something. I'm too old. No new friends.
No new friends. Speaking of Drake, new album came out last night. This is Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. They're doing hot dogs, and the woman who did the hot dogs that were from the store put them in a rice paper,
Yeah.
like she was
Yeah.
doing. Her shit was wild.
She made a hot dog spring roll.
She was on one this episode because
Yeah.
she did that, and then she was at the store later for elimination challenge. She was like, "Fuck it, I'm buying ostrich eggs."
Yeah.
She is on one this episode.
Vic, which hot dog looked the best to you?
Let's see, which hot dog? Of course, a good Chicago dog with all the fixins, all the diced things. There was I do remember the hot dog that it looked like she just opened up the ballpark Franks and then threw it in some banana leaves or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And then there was also the sushi one. I'll take a nice uncooked sushi, tempura,
Hot dog.
hot dog. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Vic. High class. Fabio and Radika made good hot dogs. I really liked Radika's hot dog. I feel like I could eat that thing.
Radhika, in the first episode, she came on and she was like, I'm not going to do Indian flavors. And her 2 things that she's done so far have been Indian flavors.
Yeah. Kebab style sausage with caramelized onions, cucumbers, and tomato jam. That's
Fabio's
a winner.
looked dope because I like Mediterranean stuff, so that's a good one for me.
So Radhika takes it home. She wins a quickfire. She's immune. This elimination challenge was bonkers because we get Tom Colicchio. This have been his most active episode we've done so far.
I think this is Tom's coming out episode.
Yeah, this is his coming out episode. The elimination, the chefs were asked to open a quote unquote Top Chef restaurant in Manhattan.
Not Restaurant Wars though.
Yeah, not Restaurant Wars though. And create a 3-course new American lunch menu for 50 diners. Hey, each chef was responsible for creating his or her own dish. And the competitors were given 30 minutes to shop at Whole Foods Market and a budget of $2,500 for the entire group. So guess what? During the 2-hour prep time, Tom Colicchio came into the kitchen to make an announcement. Oh, the restaurant you're working in? Oh, it's going to be mine. You're going to serve lunch at Kraft.
Guess what? That's my restaurant.
That's my restaurant. And you're playing my game now.
You're in my world now, Grandma.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the guests that you're serving, those are the other top chefs from the area that we rejected.
Yeah,
So,
you thought that it was going to be tough New Yorkers who were going to eat your food. No, these are New Yorkers who were pissed off because we told them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah. So they couldn't be on the show, but now they get to critique you for the fact that they couldn't be on the show, but you're on the show. So good luck with that.
I did a little research on this Tom person.
Yes.
And it turns out.
Yes, please.
It turns out that he invented this style of employment of human resources where it's cheaper to create a reality show and then staff your restaurant with the people on the reality show than actually pay employees a living wage. So I'm going to be doing some more research on that.
I mean, you make a good point. He literally needed people to work the lunch service. He's like, "Well, I've got this show."
To work lunch.
Yeah, no one wants to give up their midday. Are you kidding me?
I don't tip on lunch.
Also, if you got to come in and cook lunch, I got to come in at 6 a.m. and prep. I don't want to do that. I want to work dinner. I want to come in at 2.
Oh, yeah. Give me a 2 o'clock start.
Give me a 2 o'clock start? Oh, I'm there, Tom.
All these jobs now that are having a hard time staffing, you always see like help wanted. Like Wendy's can't find people to work for $7.50 an hour. No one wants to work for a little bit of money and be treated like shit anymore. Just do a reality show like Tom did.
Yeah, you'll get people who want to be there for free and they don't even know that they're working for free.
You just tell them they might win money. Here's Wendy's, Dave, here's what you do. Dave
Thomas, listen up.
You staff every restaurant of Wendy's and say it's a reality show. You hire one person to do a camera. You pay them whatever you pay, union minimum. I don't know what that is.
It's probably
everyone else is told that they will get paid if they win. Now, here's what you do. You put an insider in every store who will win the competition.
Yes.
Who knows they're not going to get $100,000.
Yeah.
But they're getting paid something.
Yeah.
So when everyone else loses and gets nothing, your guy wins.
And gets nothing, but doesn't ever break. Makes them think, oh my God, I won the money. My life is so much better. So you have to do like a couple of months where like that person goes away. They like spend the money crazy on like a vacation. And they come back and like, why are you here? You had $100,000. I thought your life was changing. Spent it all.
Blew it right up my nose.
Yep. Right up my
all up my nose.
Blew it all up my nose.
$100K up my nose. I went to fucking Belize, put it up my fucking nose.
I got a rhinoplasty. Spent all the money on my nose.
Yep. Put it all up my fucking nose.
Yeah.
And there you go. And then I don't have to wait 25 minutes in the Wendy's drive-thru line anymore to get a fucking spicy chicken sandwich and nuggets.
It's, sometimes I thought when I first heard it that the New York mayor was just being mean, but maybe he's right. These low-skilled workers, they're not fucking cutting it.
I was in the drive-thru at Wendy's a few weeks ago, and the guy working the window could not have been more defeated. And he was like, sorry, man. He's like, 4 people called out. I'm not supposed to be here. I was like, man, that sucks. He's like, yeah. And he was like, you want to work here? And I was like, No.
Nah, dog. Nah, dog.
I'm good, man.
In stark contrast to what's happening at Taco Bell right now, the workers, I understand from my sources, very rejuvenated that the Mexican pizza is back.
See, and yes.
Yeah, you need a promo like that to get people excited to go to work. That's why they brought back stuffed crust pizza at Pizza Hut. People were livid. They're
The
like,
employees want to make
yeah,
them.
they're like, what do you mean I don't get to cook any more stuffed crust pizzas and watch the cheese kind of melt and gush out? We're like, okay, we'll make a concession. We won't give you raises. We'll just bring back stuffed crust pizza.
That's all they want.
That's all they want. And the customers love it too. Everyone's getting along now.
It's a win-win.
You forget how long those hours are when you're making a stuffed crust pizza or a pan pizza. And you're like, oh, is this the original pan pizza or is this the new pan pizza? Because they both taste the same, but they're marketed differently.
Yeah. And this is Pod Chef,
The official Top Chef
podcast. I need to note that Fabio said a few times this episode that it doesn't matter how many dragons you slay. It just matters who gets the princess.
Yeah, let's talk about the dragon because Tom is working. Let's listen to this clip.
Food, please use a tasting spoon, put it back in the bain-marie, not in your mouth and back in the dish.
Ooh, Tom is like, we're not going to have a season 1 incident.
No, we're not putting it back in the sauce.
Yeah, we're not going to throw the sauce out at Kraft, that's for sure.
No.
Tom is expediting in this elimination challenge, all right? You got to cook for Tom and be ready when he's calling the orders. That's the dragon you got to slay.
Mm-hmm. And then what's the princess?
The princess is whoever wins the elimination challenge.
That's the princess.
Yeah. I wanted to say Padma or Gail. Did you see Gail this episode? What a dream. And I know Gail's listening, so I'm brown nosing.
Now, Gail was the one that was not Padma.
Yes.
Okay.
Gail is the Canadian.
Yeah.
Excellent.
She's from Food and Wine magazine.
Yeah.
I once got a subscription to Food and Wine by accident, completely different name and different address.
Okay.
But you still got it.
Yeah, you still got it.
I still got it for a year.
Okay.
Now, maybe you don't know this, but there is also a church of Food and Wine magazine. And a few seasons back, we had a white pastor come in and teach us about...
He was black. He was from the South. He was a black pastor. He admitted he was black.
No,
he was a black pastor.
No, he did not.
He said on the recording, I'm a black pastor.
Did you find yourself feeling the faith when you're looking through these free? I mean, that seems like a fucking sign to me. If I got free Food and Wine like imagine a Bible shows up at your door out of nowhere every month for 12 months and you didn't pay for it. I might start believing in God then.
I'd be like, he's sending me a message for sure.
Yeah, he wants me to do something.
Yeah. I don't know why the writing in this book is so small. Like, just make the book bigger. I can't read this. It's too small.
Why are the pages so soft?
The pages are so thin. They make great kindling, but it's like, just give me a bigger book.
You wonder why people use the Bible to do rolling with.
Yeah.
Because the paper is like rolling paper.
Yeah. It really is. It burns clean.
I found the same problems with the Food and Wine. There was just entirely too much food and wine.
Yeah, that'll happen.
That's true. Just make it bigger. You ever seen one of those big Bibles in like a library? It's not even as thick as the smaller Bible. It's
the reference Bible?
Yeah.
But you know what? The words are still small in that thing.
Yeah, why are you making the words so dang small? Make them big. I got bad eyes.
You want me to get the word of the Lord?
You want me to see the word of the Lord?
I think they want you just to believe that it's there.
Well, that's not how it works for me.
This is Top Pod Chef. So they have to make meals and Kraft.
Yeah, they got to make meals at Kraft. Almost all the chefs that are eating the food in the restaurant at Kraft are saying that they can do better than the Top Chef contestants. They're so salty that they're not on the show.
I would do the same thing. I used to go to fucking improv shows constantly with teams that I didn't get on and be like, I'd fucking do this. And you fucking missed that. You suck.
Yeah, you were right, though.
I'm the saltiest person in the whole world. I want to know why Jill got a ostrich egg and was like, this is going to fucking wow him, and then just made a quiche with it.
Yeah, I don't know what she was thinking with that ostrich egg, but you know what she should have done with it? Pan-seared some steaks, fry that ostrich egg, put it on top, let it break down over a bunch of steaks. Now that's a presentation.
A bust ostrich egg?
What's that?
A bust,
Bus.
ostrich
Yeah.
egg?
Yeah. Put an ostrich egg in a 12-inch skillet, fry it, right? Maybe over easy.
Soft over easy.
Soft over easy. Then delicately put it on top of like 6
Put it on
steaks.
a huge piece of bread.
Yeah. 6 steaks in a gigantic Kaiser roll. And then just break the top.
And then bus it.
Sprinkle some salt and pepper and bust it.
And then bust it. And maybe your black mom is like, don't bust that.
You need to cook that yolk. You can't eat it like that.
I honestly, real talk, would 100% not bust an ostrich egg. I would cook that until it was gray. I would not eat it. When she busted it out of the shell into the bowl, and the yolk was as big as my fucking head, and then there all was the like gooey yolk white stuff. It just fucking made me want to throw up.
Huh? Well, and maybe did the same thing for the people who were eating it and didn't like it at all.
I know. They said it tasted like glue.
Yeah. Let's listen.
Do they make glue out of ostriches?
Go ahead and Google that. While you're Googling that, let's listen to Tom's critique of the week.
I thought everybody did a great job getting their station set up, getting the food out of the kitchen on time. However, the food that came out of the kitchen, I wasn't too impressed by. If this is your take on New American, I think you set American cuisine back about 20 years.
I think he took this challenge a little personal.
That's like when I've ever heard someone say, "You set black people back 20 years with this." And it's like he said it to a room not filled with only.
It was a white room.
Yeah, it was a mostly white room. So
this
it didn't.
This is early Top Chef.
Yeah, it didn't hit as hard. I'm sure Carlo was like, "God damn," but everyone else was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have any shame." But yeah, some of the food was good, but overall the food was trash this week. And yeah, that was Tom's critique of the week.
I want to know why. When they're doing the judges table, which I wish they'd bring back this way of doing judges table, where you call out all 6 people and no one knows what's going on.
Yeah, literally.
They get to Fabio and he starts like defending himself, and they're like, "No, it's
wait. Let's listen to that.
Okay.
Yes. Honestly, I don't know. I did, some filet mignon, best quality meat ever, best Parmesan cheese, 5 years aged, 6 years aged balsamic vinegar. Every week I sell 100 of those exact plates in my restaurant in California. And it's a big success. I don't know. You tell me why I'm here.
You're here because we liked your dish. We hadn't told you that we didn't like it yet.
Oh, that's good.
I just want to say something. As he was talking about his dish, he was like, Parmesan cheese, 5 years aged, balsamic vinegar, 6 years aged. I was like, that does sound good. He was winning me over. I didn't even taste the dish, and I was like, 5-year aged Parmesan cheese, 6-year aged balsamic. Sign me up.
This is my wife, 42-year age.
Yeah, he started going off on his family, everything around him. These are my friends, 2 weeks filming aged.
I want to know. I know people do this, but like, don't like get rid of that veil, the like veil that I have that makes me think that these people are coming up with these recipes on the spot.
Yeah.
Like Jill is like, I don't know what to do. I'll use an ostrich egg like a moron.
Yeah.
Fabio's like, I'm gonna make a dish that I make every fucking day.
Yeah. It's a huge hit.
That loses it for me. Why doesn't everyone do that?
Yeah,
like
Fabio,
if you all own restaurants, just do the stuff that works all the time.
Fabio should have been like, I don't know. These foods always, Parmesan cheese, 5 years aged, balsamic vinegar, 6 years aged. Anytime I put these together, they work. I think they work, but I don't know what happened today.
Yeah,
no, we liked your food today, Fabio. Oh, good. I've never made this before ever.
Yeah, brand new.
It's a brand new concoction. I just thought all these good, rich foods would go good together.
Insane. Really just took the wind out of the sails for me for this for what's going on.
So as he doesn't know that he's doing well in this episode, he also wins the elimination challenge, which sets up for old Jack and Jill to be eliminated.
Who was the other top person? Was it Carla? They liked Carla. She did like an apple
Top
pie.
person to be eliminated?
No, I
think they did like Carla's dessert. So she was up there. There was like 5 people in there, right?
There was an older woman who seemed to not be liked by anyone in the building.
Oh, that's right. The woman who used to own a restaurant in Montclair, New Jersey, very near to where I live.
Right.
Who did, what did she cook?
Dale owns that restaurant now.
What did she cook? She cooked... something that sucked.
I don't have everyone's dish in front of me.
No, I can't think of what it was, but they hated it.
Yeah.
And let's say she should go home.
Let's say goodbye to Jill, and I'm not gonna play the whole thing because God, she does a long goodbye.
Jill, please pack your knives and go. Good luck to you.
Disappointed. It's a little surprising that Arian's still staying since Padma spit her dish out. Selecting the ostrich egg to use as the base for the quiche. I thought it was going to be bold and creative. I thought they would appreciate that. They didn't.
All right, Jill's going home because she made ostrich egg quiche.
So, Vic said it. Jill did not Jill. Aaron did the lemon thing that Padma spit out because it was too sweet. She also said that she makes that all the time in her restaurant. So maybe it doesn't always work if your restaurant fucking sucks shit.
Or maybe everyone there like has a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
And well, they're like, oh, this
I'm in
is
New
perfectly
Jersey.
sweet.
We love sweet stuff in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Jill, you cut the clip up before it, but Jill says that she's upset because she didn't get to cook food that she wanted to cook.
And why didn't
yes.
Why didn't you?
You had
on the show.
Opportunity to do it.
You were on the show for 2 weeks.
Maybe you were more restricted in the last episode, but this episode you had free range to do whatever the fuck you wanted.
I think you did. Jill also have to cook in the quickfire to see who's eliminated in the very first episode.
In the apple thing,
yeah.
No,
I think she didn't. She cook scallops. I could be wrong, but I think she's had at least 3 opportunities to cook food that represents her. And
there were no restrictions on this meal.
Yeah,
do whatever you want.
You decided not to cook any of them. I don't know why you wouldn't cook something that represents you.
Maybe it's one of those things where she was saving it. She was like, I have an ace up my sleeve, but I'm going to save it.
Thing about this show is you got to bring out your aces now,
mm-hmm.
because you got to find a better hand later on down the road. You got to win them now.
You got to wait for something. Win now, and then hope you get lucky with the flop.
I mean, think about this. Hosea was in the running to be eliminated this week. He thought he had the greatest dish ever. That's the dude who wins this season.
The most boring winner of the season, of like any season.
Which is why we all talk about Carla from this season.
The fuck
all
is
right.
that guy?
So Jill was eliminated. Vic, thank you for coming on the show. Do you have any plugs you want to do, Vic?
Absolutely. Take a look. Keep an eye out for my book, Vague Facsimiles.
Mm-hmm.
It's out when it's out. So stop asking.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yes, not you, but
the
everyone.
Producers.
Yeah,
the producers, everyone,
the publishers,
the
fans.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Stop asking. It'll be out when it's out.
And you too. Stop asking. It's going to be out.
Yeah. The band U2. Stop asking. It'll be out when it's out.
Yeah. The Edge. Stop it.
Yeah, they're big fans. They're big fans. Mm-hmm. And my website, the promo insider, bringing you
which is not tit pie.
No, correct. That's correct. It's not that word.
It's not that. Yeah,
it's not that word.
Okay.
But if you Google tit pie, will you get your website, or will you get something maybe a little more erotic?
I cannot be held responsible. I already have too many lawsuits, and I can't be held responsible for what happened
anymore.
When you Google tit pie.
Okay.
Damn,
we'll do it. Oh,
yeah,
well,
you just said it, so it's probably out there in the algorithm now.
Yeah, now everyone knows that you are that, or that you want it to be called that.
Well, these things happen. I was called Tit Guy for a long time.
Tit Guy?
Yeah, I had to pivot.
One of my favorite. This is a story. I'll tell a story real quick. A good friend of mine, when I was living in my hometown of Shingatikon, Virginia. One time we were logging into his computer. And we're like, hey, man, what's your password? And he said, Tata Master. And me and my buddy said, Tata Master? And he goes, titties, man. That's the whole story.
I'm going to thank Vic Valderrama for coming on this week and being our guest host. You're hired.
Thank you so much.
You
got the job.
Yeah, you're hired to be our official second mic going forward. So I'll be in contact after this episode to talk about scheduling you for next week.
Wait, do you accept the job?
Yeah, do you accept?
See, I really just was doing this because the publisher told me that I had to do like promotions and stuff. But I guess I can come back. I can
That's a
fit it
yes!
into my schedule.
Okay. We'll talk offline and get you back for next week. So thank you for coming on. Thank you for Brian. Until next time. With that story, we will pack our knives and go.
Titties, man.
This was fun. This is great, guys. You guys got something here. This is fun.